going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Break Zone. My name is JT.
And I'm Lawrence.
And we're taking you here to the last round of Swiss at the Petit Cup here in Los Angeles, California. We have seen a lot of aggressive play. I'm really excited about how Azul performed the last match. What did you think?
He did amazingly well. That from the first card he played to the last one, everything was on point.
I loved it. I love the aggro. It's not even aggro. He's just playing meticulous Final Fantasy.
Correct.
He's looking at what's the board. He's making the right decisions. He's just really just making the plays look easy, and they're not. They're not easy. As you can see, the way he's playing his matches, there's a lot of decisions that he makes. And while he could have won a turn before, I mean, he still put himself in a great position to win against a hyper aggro deck. As any type of deck, if you're going in a tournament and you're able to beat a hyper aggro deck, you feel pretty good about yourself. Because usually hyper aggro decks are what you're afraid of.
Correct. So there's a couple things you have to be afraid of. Usually there's the hyper aggro, the gold bez, and the random other mid to high range decks.
Right.
And so usually it's because Golbez works similarly to Hyper Aggro in terms of it comes out early and strong.
Floods the board.
Correct. So usually the Golbez deck doesn't wait until mid-late game to play the Golbez. It'll play it early on and just overtake you.
Yeah.
And so in that sense, that Azul has been able to fight this, as you've seen, highly aggressive, highly...
Oh man, this playfield is so aggressive today.
Highly
really on it.
Ice influence field. And he's coming out on top. Back again at Table 1.
Back again at Table 1, and we'd like to remind you that players at Table 1 are the best of the best. They are the top-rated matches in this entire event. So we are bringing you the best matches here at the Petit Cup, and you're seeing it firsthand as we're seeing it. So we hope you guys enjoy it, and we'd love to thank all of our viewers and supporters, again, the support and the love that you've shown us at the Break Zone. We really appreciate it. And we'd like to thank Square Enix for bringing this amazing event to all of the players and for showing some continued support in the game itself. And once again, thank you to the Meta Potion for just throwing a really good circuit and bridging the gap between Square Enix and the players here. Alright, we're about to start round 7, the last of Swiss, and then after that you guys are going to get a front row seat at the top 8, top 4, and grand finals, and finally the crowning champion of the Petit Cup. Are you excited, Lou?
I'm very excited. I want to see what's going to go down. I mean...
We're still waiting for a Saban to show up.
That's true.
We're still waiting to see that guy come out.
Saban's that guy. I want him to suplex someone.
I do. We're huge Final Fantasy 6 fans, so we're excited to see them, and we're waiting for them to come out. But without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and take you straight to Swiss Round 7, the top match at the feature table.
All right, so let's see. We're about to get started. They're still kind of putting the finishing touches on getting ready, sat down and ready. All right, you might recognize some of these guys. Azul from the previous round, as well as Brian from earlier today.
Well, it's good to see these players back at it. It's always good to see them to come back at it and to see how players progress throughout the event. You've seen them at the beginning of the event here on the table. It's good to see them again as they battle each other once again. Azul seems to have a magnet for going against Fire Ice. This is now the second player he's had to face playing Fire Ice. So let's see how he does this time around. It looks like players are just getting ready to go. We're just waiting for the tournament organizer to give us the green light before we start, and you'll notice that we're going to have a countdown here for the time.
All right, they're getting all set up. They're getting the cards out.
Right. All right. Looks like we're ready to go. And we're off.
Is it? Oh, hold on. Have they started? I think they're holding off for a second.
I believe we're starting. We're going to go ahead and reset the time here. We're just going to wait for the go-ahead from the staff.
So we feel like green light, everything's settling down, everybody's kind of calming their nerves.
So Brian, as we took a look at what he's running, does in fact run Saban. So we're hoping to see it.
The train destroyer.
the train suplexer himself.
All All right, let's take a look. Everybody's.
Thank you again for joining us here at the Break Zone. We are constantly commentating. All right, it looks like we're ready to go. And we're just about to start.
Final round of Swiss.
Final round of Swiss.
Everybody's super excited, and they're about to press the clock.
And we're about to go. And
here we go. Time starts now.
Time is
There
gone.
we go.
And we're game,
Here we
everybody.
begin.
Last
Take a
round
look
of
at your
Swiss.
card.
Let's see this.
Do you like what you see? Do you see what I see? And that's a mulligan.
So, that's looks like both
With a
players are
matching
gonna bowl.
mulligan.
Right, and again, thank you guys for joining us at the Break Zone. We are live chatting this and live streaming this, so please don't be shy. Go ahead and give us a thumbs up or thumbs down, or subscribe if you like what we're doing.
We're seeing some of the commenters commenting about no Golbez. Hey, I guess Golbez didn't really make it out to Opus 4 after all.
You know, I'm going to make a mention here to Romain. I'm not too sad about no Golbez. It's actually kind of nice to see no Golbez around here.
I mean, it's all right. I mean, I don't really know what to say. I've seen a lot of Golbez over my time, and it's definitely nice to see other things come up.
Right.
But this time, it is a no value 2-draw Black Mage.
It is, but he had to pitch honestly, just to play that. It looks
All right.
like we're seeing a VV being pitched for a Selfie and a Vayne being pitched for a Jill. Again, no value on the Jill.
Ooh, no value to no value. But now
Yeah, exactly.
it looks like the Fire Ice player is playing the no backup game. Oh no, the backup game.
Exactly.
He's going to build up into that economy to see what he's going to do second and
Oh
third.
wow, into a Dice Dart, one of the new cards here on Opus 4. Actually, one that I really enjoyed playing at the pre-release. It
So
did a lot of work.
is actually playing more aggressive at this point. He's not playing all the backups. He's putting a guy up, getting him ready.
He does see a position to open. He's not fighting for his life right now. And it looks like Brian is really playing the backup game, which is a lot different than what we were used to seeing in our last match. So it's interesting to see how this is going to really shake out.
So far on the Fire Ice deck piloting we've seen, it's been mostly highly aggressive. This is actually more of a controlling, maybe a higher curve.
Swing with
We'll
that
have to see
Dice
what
Dart.
happens.
Oh, and it's a save-in off the top, and the card we wanted to see is now in the damage zone. We here at the Break Zone are heartbroken.
That was sad. He suplexed himself.
Zalbag into a red mage, and it looks like Azul is on the board with the first point of damage on Brian over here.
Let's see what Brian does with all those backups he's accumulated so
Got
far.
a lot of backups, so hopefully he can make some plays here.
His options should be wide open depending on what he drew.
Yeah, he's got a handful of cards. He's got 3 backups. He should be able to play everything
All
in his
right,
hand.
1, 2. 1 red mage, 1 black mage, 1 dice dart. Yep, you've got something there.
You've got something there. He's just making sure he's making the right play here. Azul is coming out a little bit aggressive.
Just a little bit, but hey, he's working out. He's
is
building up his
working out.
backups at the same time. He's
Exactly.
only down 1 backup, but he has a forward out.
Oh,
and
and
that
a
is a
Sabin!
Sabin.
Wow,
Oh.
and we are finally happy to see this card hit the field.
But he's playing against Lightning. Is he going to be safe?
Yes, Lightning tends to break whenever it wants to break, and it can just break when it's not attacking. He's going to go ahead and pitch the Sid Reigns. He's going to play into a Loke. And I don't think he has the required Final Fantasy 6 characters. That's correct. We're just triple checking here.
That's correct.
We're going to go ahead and bring up Sabin for everyone to take a look at. We're sure it's going to do something.
Not sure. We'll have to see. Hopefully he doesn't eat an Alcid.
Right.
That's something that's always pretty scary about playing some of your forwards out against Lightning.
Especially with Lightning. That Alcid
Correct.
is just always there.
Huge
Always
tempo
there.
play. Just 2 guys out, taking out one of yours. It's a very big swing in terms of board presence.
All right, let's see what Azul's going to do here.
All right, let's see.
He's looking at that Sabin. It's hard to deal with that guy.
But if anybody's capable of dealing with Sabin, I would say Lightning is definitely one of those colors.
Right. But he can't use that Dice Dog. That Dice Dog is so good on defense as well. You can trade up. Once it drops, goes into break zone, he does damage to something
He
else.
does damage to active forwards. Though.
Right.
So
he
it won't
does.
really trade up in that sense. But
True, and
he
I
is
mean-
able to hold off aggression. early
Right, and
aggression.
even so, Sabin can protect something that's already active.
Sabin can do a lot of things.
Yeah.
In this sense that
He's going to attack with that Dice Dart. I'm not sure. I follow what's going. Oh, he's going to get another point of damage here. That's
I think
great.
that's fine. I think the point is that you don't want to risk your Sabin at this point. The Sabin can definitely go to your mid to late game.
Yes.
The lock is bigger than Dice Dart, but if you do block with either one of them,
you risk
additional damage.
Right. What you risk is you risk a Cyclops. You risk so
about
much.
anything. No, or even just a Dice Dart, because the guys are blocking.
Exactly.
He's not the one blocking. He's attacking.
Exactly.
He can take on bigger guys. He can trade up in that sense, but not.
Build out his
the
backup
blocking
line here. Oh, Azul does have an Exodus in his hand. He can choose 4.
That would be.
He can choose 4, and he's gonna need to do that now before Sabin attacks.
He can do that when it's on the stack.
Does Exodus just put in the break zone? It is, correct?
It breaks.
It
but
breaks.
If Sabin's ability is on the stack, he's not unbreakable quite yet.
True.
And at that point, you can
True.
resolve your
you
Exodus.
can resolve the Exodus.
Correct. That is one of the plays I thought about when having to deal with Sabin.
Right. Let's see what happens here. We're excited to see finally this big card coming out into play.
I don't think it's gonna last long.
Well, if it's any color, if it's any element that you're going to deal with and you're going to have problems with Sabin, it's going to be lightning.
Correct. Let's see what Brian's going to want to do.
It looks like Azul's already ready to play that card.
He's like, I take no chances.
He's just getting ready.
Quite interesting, though. Let's see what's going to happen next. Sabin is going to target himself. Not be broken. Oh, and he goes through.
He's going to take the point of damage.
Follow with the.
I don't know if you want to take that point of damage. Oh.
And he's going to have to discard a card.
He's going to have to discard a card now. I wasn't sure that was the right play there.
I don't know. I mean, maybe he's just waiting it out to have Brian kind of walk into the Exodus.
Right.
It's a gamble. He is definitely gambling with his life, which is okay. He's only taken 2 points of damage so far.
Why didn't he cast the Exodus already? Oh, that Devout is going to be so hard to deal with. You break Sabin, he's going to come right back.
Correct.
Brian playing into the Devout, that is just... He has a very strong board right now.
Let's see what he does with it.
Okay, the pitch your Rigdia here. Going to play into a Seymour.
Breaking the lock.
Breaking the lock.
He's the Keymaster.
Oh, can he actually do the Exodus now? Well, he should attack
if
first.
He wants to.
There you go. Get your point of damage in there. Flipping over Velias. Going to draw a card on that EX burst.
And
both players are really strong on their backup line. This game is going to be very interesting. A lot of efficient plays going on here. Wow, he's pitching Exodus into the Behemoth, but why? The Exodus, you can get rid of Sabin now. I'm not sure I follow this play.
I think he's betting the fact that if Brian keeps attacking with Sabin, he's going to swing back for 2.
Yes, right. I don't know if I like that bet, though.
Well, Sabin's not very safe against Dice Dark otherwise.
That's true.
If Sabin is blocking, he's not doing his job. Well, he's doing his job, but what you really want him to do is attack every turn.
Yes.
If you're not attacking with him and he's blocking, if he's brave with Cyan and he attacks and blocks, then that's great.
Wow, that is spicy.
That's correct.
That is spicy. If there's a Cyan on here, that is legit.
I don't believe I see that on the deck list, so I think he'll be okay
and
with
there
that.
goes the Cyclops. Nothing you can do there.
And let's see what else Brian has up his sleeve.
Both players are at 3 points of damage. And it looks like Brian's going to go ahead and play into a Sid to search for a sixth character. This is a very close match here. We expect nothing less from the top matches in every round. Once again, this is JT and Lou here at the Break Zone. Thank you for joining us for this live coverage of the Petit Cup, thrown by Square Enix here in Los Angeles, California. And it's just always good to talk, to see some of these high-level players pilot these new cards, these new decks. It's a treat, really. It is.
It is. So we just saw Brian go ahead and search for that Celis.
Right.
And he
gonna
cracks the
crack
valve for lock, forcing Zol to discard a card
because
since
he has 2
correct.
Final Fantasy
Yes, Sid
6
and
characters.
Sabin in play.
That is a strong play right there. I really like that devout. That might
All right.
actually end up being a turning point here in this match.
Let's see. He can't quite attack with. Well, he already attacked with Sabin.
Right. He's
Did
already
the job.
passed.
Let's see if he's going to play the Celis as well, or he's going to wait it out.
Celis can dull and freeze right now.
Correct.
That dice dart. And I think that's what she's gonna do.
And that's what she's doing.
Yep.
Oh, he.
Oh,
Did he decide to do that on the red mage?
on the red mage. Wow.
I believe he did.
Okay, why?
Maybe so that he can't haste out, but I'm not sure why he's so scared of it.
Right. I would
Is
have
he going for lethal next or something? I'm not really reading his line of play.
Well,
but
now Azul has a blocker. I think if he wanted to dull freeze and go for lethal out of that dead.
correct. Let's see. I'm sure Brian has something in mind. So Azul is taking a look at his options.
Players are getting into this critical point where it's about to be fatal on board.
They're just kind of building up for that final push. I still think I would have kept that Exodus if I were Azul. Right now would have been quite nice to play it, actually. Looking down at Sabin. Oh, there goes Ramza. Paying for it by discarding a Black Waltz. Passing the turn to Brian.
All right.
You gotta love seeing all that FF6 out there.
I love seeing SSS.
Let's see. Alright, Brian seems to be in control at the point.
Let's see what he's gonna do here.
Gonna go ahead and attack with the lock.
Okay.
He has a selfie there, so he has a fire card in his hand. He is. Oh, and he's going to Shiva,
Wow.
forcing Azul to.
Azul has to bring out that behemoth now.
No, he doesn't have to. He could
Doesn't
take the
have to.
3
He could
damage,
take
but
damage.
that would not be ideal. Alright, he's gonna turn his behemoth into a forward. And I think Brian has an answer to that.
Oh, with a Bahamut.
Alright, burning out that behemoth,
Yep, and
attacking for. And then forcing Azul to discard. Attacking with Celis as well. And
we
attacking
go.
with Sabin as well. Going for 6 damage.
wow, that is just a strong round right there. Good turn over here by Brian. I think Azul is looking at Fatal now. He needs to do something. I don't think he can. That Exodus would be really, really good right now had he not discarded it.
Playing out that Lulu to boost his.
There's nothing else he
Forts.
can play here. That's the
Yeah.
only play he's got.
Oh, and that Sabin is going to come in and
That
he can
Sabin's
just
gonna go in
buff
and just
himself
wreck
out of any
everybody.
range.
Yeah.
Talking about Sabin all day, finally coming out for the final round of Swiss.
Oh, I know, right? It's good to see, though. Once he hits the board, he hasn't had any issues leaving the board, so he's good right now.
Yep. Let's see. Let's take a look at his lines of play. If he attacks with Lock, think attacking with Lock first would, well... The problem with attacking with Sabin first is that Lock will die from Dice Dark's Leaf playability if he blocks with Dice Dark.
Right.
Which he should, because otherwise if Lock blocks with Ramza now and Lock attacks next, then it won't work as well. Let's see what happens.
Man,
oh, there you go.
That Dice Dark is
So
going to
then
have to
block
do
the
some
Sabin.
work.
Dice Dark leaves play, dealing 7,000 to the Lock, and keeping himself from lethal for a turn.
Wow, okay. I like that.
He should have attacked with Lock first.
I would have attacked with Lock first as well. Oh, wow. He's just going to go ahead and make it so that you can't block. And he's going to take that last point of damage. Well. Again, we see Red Mage coming in here, just doing some work. Sabin, again, we've been waiting to see him all day.
And there he is.
He
the train wrecker.
The train wrecker, the train suplexer himself. It's always good to see some of these cards come onto play because we expect them to be good, but you don't know how good they are until you actually see them in play, and it just does so much for you.
Correct.
It's a 4-drop, and it's just really, really good, right? So we're really excited. That was the last round of Swiss, and it's awesome. It's awesome to see all these different players, and we're going to be cutting right into top 8 after a bit of a break. So talk to me about Swiss. Tell me what are your initial feelings that you got when we first started in Swiss, and how do you feel the event has rounded itself out now that all rounds of Swiss have been played? We're about to go to the cream of the crop now.
What to say? There was a lot of aggro. Very heavy aggro.
Right?
Not a lot of backup play.
Exactly.
But the last 2 rounds we saw that the consistency and playing out backups gives you so many options.
Right.
On the flip side, though, we've seen some of the players that played the 2 Devouts early on that just got crushed by the one of fire. That was harsh.
It's
very harsh.
It's a balance, though, right? Trying to be aggressive, but not overextend yourself or build a deck that's susceptible to board wipes or things like a Cyclops. We saw that Ranger
Cyclops,
do some damage,
and that was enough.
It was enough. It was enough to get past. It was enough to get through. So, talk to me a bit about how you build decks going into events like this. And what are some of the things that you take into consideration?
So, it's just really tough. One of the interesting things about this game is that the meta is almost ever shifting. If one kind of deck gets too powerful, somebody could literally snipe it out of the way if it really wants to.
Right.
But on the flip side, that one deck that is able to take on that particular other deck, the perfect counter, is very weak to anything else.
I agree.
So, for example, talking about Golbez. Golbez is great against many other decks, but a deck that's anti-Golbez will just knock it out of contention.
And we saw a deck earlier today play a Sid Randall and a Remedy.
Yeah.
That would literally shut down any Golbez deck being played.
That would be very rough. Or the fact that we've seen so many Exoduses playing from the Lightning players.
Right, exactly.
Exodus, Zalera.
And we've seen Zaleras. We've seen...
Correct.
Golbez has been around for so long that players know how to play against it. They know how to build against it. They know how to put those 1 or 2 gotchas in there to kind of get you past the Golbez.
And we've got some pretty good answers in Opus 3 to
Golbez.
We're talking about Zalera, we're talking about Exodus.
Right.
And if
Golbez is diminishing returns. You crack him once, he's potent. You crack him again, you might not have the cards to get back.
That's true.
Because there's nothing else left in your deck. So being able to sustain, living through the match after having 1 Golbez crack, you're in a much better position. And so that's why a lot of players, they put in those extra, like, Zaleras, things like that, to kind of really help you go through that. So,
it's definitely been fun. I was kind of taken aback at how consistent and how far the heavy aggro decks were going.
Right.
Seeing something that's a little more stable, plays more backups, plays out their hand and takes it more to the mid game is something I'm more used to. And it's kind of nice to see. Not only that, seeing Sabin come in and do his job.
Oh, I love it. I think that was so awesome. Finally getting to see him. In our local meta, Sabin is running rampant. He's just causing so many issues for so many different players. So it's really good to see that, him coming in and seeing us kind of affirm what we think about the card. A lot of times we have all these little pocket metas, and you go in these events and there's all these little metas kind of coming together, and you're not quite sure what's going to come out on top. And more often than not, it's down to the player's skills to how to pilot against different cards that they might come across. So it's really interesting to see just how players play against that. Don't you think? I think it's really cool to see.
It's always nice to see how metas change, metas shift, or players kind of handle certain situations with certain cards that are problematic.
Right.
Yeah. So in this case, for example, I think the amount of Zaleras and the amount of Exoduses probably took, if there was any gold best today, kind of knocked them down a couple notches.
Probably knocked them out a few times.
Yeah, just a couple notches down and just kept them out of the top card.
Right. And that does not to say that's not a good deck. On a coin flip, a gold best can beat you in like 3 turns.
I've seen it.
Right.
I've played against one of my friends that likes to play gold best. I decided to play first. He played second. Gold best and Delita came out. There's no answer to that.
Yeah.
You don't even get priority.
So it's one of those types of decks where if you get the right cards, you can end the game so fast. And it's inconsistency at its best, but in a Swiss format, it works.
It might just make it.
It might just make it. So, it's awesome to see all these different types of decks, and it's good to see the meta changing, evolving in certain aspects, and just kind of enveloping more instead of a certain line of play. So we're always happy to see that. And we're happy to share that with the rest of the world who's willing to watch it. And so it's always a treat. Right.
Yep.
Awesome. So that wraps up our Swiss. We're going to take a small break, and then we'll be back for our top 8 cut. It's going to be the cream of the crop. And this is where you're going to start to see a lot of players, buckle down, and really get in there and try to make those top cuts and try to take home that coveted Petit Cup. And if you guys haven't seen the pictures, go ahead and take a look at us. The Break Zone on Facebook. We have pictures of the trophies, the prizes, the whole event. We're trying to document as much as we can. Because it's such a pleasure to be here. It's such an honor to be here. And so go ahead and take a look. Again, thumbs up or thumbs down if you like what we do. If not, comment. And as always, hit subscribe so we can always be notified of all the different events that we're going to be covering. And once again, my name is JT.
And I'm Lawrence.
And this is the Break Zone. We'll catch you guys at the top 8.